What's up, everyone? My name is Jonathan Hiller, and I'm a filmmaker whose content you may have seen in places like these, and today I'm going to be reacting to Ren, Murderer. But first, I'm really excited about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. If you saw my reaction to Ren, Hi Ren, you'll know that I have been struggling with OCD my entire life. And like many people, during the pandemic, it got really bad for me, so I had to reinvest myself in therapy full force. My recommitment to therapy absolutely changed my life. It got so much better so quickly. And honestly, you don't even have to have an anxiety disorder like I do to really benefit from therapy. It can give you tools to live your life in a totally different way. And that's why I'm really excited to tell you about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more accessible and more affordable. And that's really important because finding a therapist can be really hard, especially when you're limited to the options in your area. BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easier because it's all online. And by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you to a professional therapist in as little as a few days. It's really easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. There's a link in the description, betterhelp.com/Hiller. Clicking the link below helps this channel, but it also gets you 10% off your first month at BetterHelp, so you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. Again, I've really benefited from my recommitment to therapy, and I want to see more people get the help they need. So if you're struggling, please consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Click the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/Hiller. And thanks again so much, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this channel. All right, let's get into the reaction.
If you catch me alone, you better stay on my zone because I'm ready to kill. I'll sit on my throne made of bodies and bones because I'm mentally ill.
All right. So much happening already. So the camera's on a Steadicam, which really orients the audience around the idea that this might be a very long shot to start. It's a very wide lens, which I personally love. I'm shooting this on a 17mm lens, and it gets you a lot of action. Wide lenses tend to be distorted, but they also exaggerate the motion towards the lens. So everything feels a little bit more intense than it would normally. Also, what you can do with a wide lens on a Steadicam is you can hide different shots in the same cut. So whereas a lot of filmmakers would cut together different shots to give the audience an idea of what's happening, with a wide lens on a Steadicam, you can actually show different cuts in the same shot. Someone that does this all the time is P.T. Anderson, and you can see this shot in There Will Be Blood. There's actually a couple different cuts within the same shot, but sequenced together, it's much more interesting for the audience to see it all in one cut. Every one of Ren's videos is directed really well. I love it.
I'm feeling alive, I got the will to survive, so never test my skill.
A lot of environment.
For goodness sake, man, I'm ready to break, man. Murderer.
Ooh, title.
It's the way that I get down.
Ooh.
Murderer. If you see me on the corner of my town, get back. Murderer.
Oh, interesting.
In the first round. Murderer.
Yeah.
Homie, it's the way that I get down.
Ooh, now it's color.
I was born shameless, fighting out in Brighton with the name.
Oh, the way they're using these titles and then going from black and white to color, this is all really cool. Still a wide lens on a Steadicam, and it shows so much more of the environment. That's another thing that wide lenses do so well is they show the environment. They really get you engrossed in the environment as an audience. Really interesting too, from a stylistic choice, they're flickering the titles on the screen as he's saying the word, which I think is just kind of cool. It's like a little added effect. And it's really interesting, the camera comes through the window and then it goes to color. So that's another really interesting choice. I love Ren stuff. It's so good.
Brother, I should wonder what my name is. I was born famous, trendsetter, hot stepper, greatest. Shocking like a finger in the anus. I was born wasted, stoned on my brain, brother faded. Writing catchy syllables contagious. I was born courageous,
Ooh,
naked
nice
and fucking outrageous. With a microphone, I rock stages. I jump on the rhythm of rhyme, cyclone, and I pull his caliber right out the stone. King Punk.
That's cool. So then he acknowledges that the camera's there and the audience is there and breaks the fourth wall. So it seems like most of this video he was ignoring the camera, ignoring the audience, and then at one point he turns right into the camera lens and delivers that line. That's great.
Precision it hits like Stallone. Rocky, keep it cocky, I'll be Al Capone. I walk alone, sit on the office throne, and if you want it, I'll deny it like a mortgage loan. Your daughter's home, we'll be staying home alone. Condone the bone and eat it like
That's kind of out of focus. That's cool.
If you catch me alone, you better stay on my zone because I'm ready to kill. I'll sit on my throne, made of bodies and bones because I'm mentally ill. I'm feeling alive, I got the will to survive, so never test my skill. For goodness sake, man, I'm ready to break, man. Murderer, only it's the way that I get down.
Beautiful.
Murderer,
Wow.
if you see me on the corner of my town, get back. Murderer, swing for your jaw in the
There's
first.
such a cool way that you can make transitions happen, even though it's still one shot, which I really like that a lot. So the way that the camera moves past that wall is just a really interesting choice to give the audience a break from the action that's happening on screen. It's also a way that they may have hit a cut there, but from the comments on my earlier Ren videos, I'm pretty sure this is one take. So I'm going to trust that. I also really like that the shallow depth of field here is really at play. It's not sharp and clinical all the time. There are almost seemingly like errors in the focus, which I actually really like. It kind of gives it a dirtier feel, a sort of beautiful feel that fits the environment really well. Yeah, this is awesome. The pig face. Yep.
The bigger they come, the bigger they fall. The trigger the gun, I'm clipping them all like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I line them up against the wall. I don't mean metaphorically, lyrical bullets. I mean actually fucking kill them, squeeze the trigger and pull it. Blood splat, how's it going, lad? Brands are flowing, mad trust that. I'm a pro with that, seeds are sowing bad. Boy, I'm an addict, volcanic, and mine is twisted.
Oh, that's interesting. So the camera moves into the car and then it becomes handheld. Or a little bit more handheld. It might still be on a Steadicam, but it's definitely more chaotic. And as the video progresses, the story has to go somewhere. And with most music videos, that story goes to chaos, or at least a little bit more chaotic as the video progresses. So we're in the car now. This screenshot is amazing. It looks like he's about to set fire to something or something like that. So there's chaos being introduced into the picture, and that chaos is then mirrored in the shaky camera. And I love when directors make this choice. It's so brilliant.
Manic, the rhymes are gifted, goddammit. I push the button, we panic. Breathe, I seize the land, sky and the seas. It's easy, see me freestyle freely. What man, yes, I came to rock, man. Drop it like it's hot, fam. Wearing clothes from Oxfam. Goddamn, I am a blood sucking titan. From the streets of Brighton, hit you with my right hand, sucker. If you catch me alone, you better stay on my zone, because I'm ready to kill. I sit on my throne, made of bodies and bones, because I'm mentally ill. I'm feeling alive, I got the will to survive, so never test my skill.
The focus, it's really cool.
Man, I'm ready to break, man. Murderer,
oh,
it's the way that I get down. Murderer, if you see me on the corner of my town, get back. Murderer, swing for your jaw in the first round.
So he's not setting fire to something. He is putting ether, right? Ether on a rag and then getting someone. I think it's ether. I don't know. I love the way the focus stayed on the car as Ren was walking toward this person and then really slowly racked focus to him. That was a really cool choice. I love when directors make this choice of keeping something out of focus. David Fincher says this a lot, that it's not what you show, it's what you don't show. And using rack focus is a way to not show information and then reveal it. So it's a really cool way to reveal drama in the frame using camera techniques. It's good stuff.
Murderer, homie, it's the way that I get down. Homie, it's the homie, it's the homie, it's the homie, it's the
Well, as far as Ren videos goes, that's actually a very simple story. He wakes up in the morning, he boxes a little, he gets ready to go, he gets in a car, and then he finds this guy, he makes him unconscious and puts him in a trunk and drives away. So it's like actually a pretty simple story compared to most Ren videos that are a lot more abstract and a little bit weirder, more artistic. Some of the stylistic choices that I really loved were going from black and white to color, especially through the window, like that shot, and then going to color was so cool. That was really interesting. I love the wide lens on a Steadicam, getting that feel of multiple different shots and showing a lot of information using the wide lens and not necessarily cutting away. It's just a really cool way to show so much of the environment. It really engrosses us as an audience in the environment. It gives us a really beautiful sense of story. Ren is always engaging, he's always provocative, he's always fascinating, his lyrics are beautiful. What an absolutely incredible artist. So this was a wonderful music video from a directorial perspective. I know he keeps everything really low budget too, which is really cool. It has this sort of guerrilla style filmmaking to it, which I really appreciate as someone who's done a lot of that. So I really appreciate that. Well, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And thank you, BetterHelp, for coming on to sponsor this video. And I will see you on the next one.